Okay, guys, you should have out a clean piece of notebook paper. Go ahead and get your notes titled and dated. This should be a pretty short video because all we are doing is evaluating square roots, perfect squares, up to 625. So when we have a square root problem, all we have to do is type it into our calculator and evaluate the answer. So remember, when you are asked to punch this into your calculator, you are going to hit the second button, and then you're going to hit the x squared button, and if you see right above that, it has that little square root symbol, and then type in your number, and then hit enter. So the square root of 121 is equal to 11. Now guys, when you're asked to evaluate, the only answer you're giving is the answer to the square root that they gave you. Okay, and that's important to remember because things are going to change in the next couple videos. And we might have more than one answer, okay? But for this video, whatever I give you, so whatever square root I give you, type that in and that's going to be your final answer. Some of our square roots can be negative. And with that, you will always see the negative on the outside of the square root, okay? It's important that you type this in exactly the way that you see it. And that instruction should sound very familiar because I said that a ton in the solving equations unit. So we need to make sure we type this in exactly the way we see it. So that negative sign has to come before the square root. So you're going to type the negative button, then you're going to hit the second button, then you're going to hit the x squared button that has the little square root right above it, and then you're going to type in your number and hit enter. And we get the answer of -5. So it's just extremely important that you type it in exactly the way that you see it, and then that's going to be your final answer. If you guys put the negative inside of the square root, it's going to give you an error message. So make sure that you put that on the outside. All right, so we are going to sometimes have fractions as well. You can type in a fraction using the ABC button. So if you punch in, notice it's a negative, so we have to hit the negative first. Then we have to hit the second button. Then we have to hit the x squared button. Then if you type in your top number, so 36, ABC, 100, and hit enter. It's going to go ahead and give you the simplified answer. If you guys prefer, you can take the negative square root of 36 over the negative square root of 100 and do those separately. But you would get 6 over 10, which then simplifies to -3 over 5. So either way, doesn't matter. You just have to make sure that you're getting it in its simplest form. We always want the simplest form. Okay, as always, I'm going to give you one more, and then we will do a problem where you have to work it out, and then come and show me your answers. So let's take the square root of 529. So there's no negative, so all we have to do is hit the second button, x squared, oops, and then type in your value, so 529, and hit enter. And 529 is equal to 23. All right, like I said, this should be super short because it should be a review for you. So I'm going to give you 3 problems up here. I want you to evaluate them and then come show me your final answers in order to get your unit map signed off. Remember, you can always pause it, go back, rewind, make sure you have all your notes written down because I won't sign off if you don't have all of those problems written down in your notes.